know, doesn't it? Socrates does say, my name is Socrates. Going somewhere tonight. Down in Nijmegen, going to perform some stand-up comedy. Pretty packed room. It'll get quiet for the show. Let's see how it turned out, shall we?
Give a warm round of applause for the one and only Socrates Inglessis.
That room and all be sitting home right now. And my name is Socrates. I am an American. Yeah. I get it. It's cool. I get it. I was in Greece recently seeing my family, so I realized that the better way to start was, which was, my name was Socrates. I'm Greek American. And as of a week ago, I got even a better way though, because I can now say my name is Socrates. I am a Dutchman. In the Nederland, Hopwood Nederlands, Hopwood Nederlands. Yeah. So I've finally been here 14 years. I finally got my citizenship, and so the next election, I'm obviously going to vote for current builders. Have you seen the immigrants they're letting into this place? Old people, disabled, no discernible income, bad life choices. Taking the train to Nijmegen for some free drinks. They're not bringing the best, is all I'm saying. It's like, you know, there's a lot of better people out there than the ones they're letting in. But it was cool, the big ceremony. A lot of us were named Muhammad. I wasn't, but a lot of my compatriots were, so that was cool. So Nijmegen, this is a cool place. I like coming out here. It's a nice trip out here. It's weird because, you know, it's on the way here, it's like at some point you have to make a decision. It's like you're going to go to Germany or you're going to turn. And like the train turns around and goes in the other direction, you know. Then south, you know, which is cool, you know. End up here in Nijmegen. The only thing after here is what, Maastricht? You know, which is what, like the Netherlands, Florida?
I call it Dutch Texas.
Exactly. Well, yeah, you know, it's sort of uncircumcised, but European. And I can say that though I'm an unofficial Florida man. Thank you, appreciate that. I'm unofficial because if you don't know, a Florida man is basically, he's been arrested and charged, and that's how they get in the paper, and that's how they, all these stories that say Florida man sold meth to an alligator. Demands his money back. You know, they actually have Florida guys who have called the cops, you know, about somebody stole my drugs, or, you know, because drugs will rot your brain. Yeah, I lived in Florida for 20 years. It was kind of a crazy kind of a place, different culture. You know, the Netherlands is a different version of culture than we do in America. I don't know if you noticed. We're kind of going back for the throwback look. It's not bell bottoms. They're going for fascism. Supporters of fascism. The sad thing is, I'll mention the Green Party, and I get a whole lot less cheers than fascism, which is a concern if you're worried about the environment.
Something about your new century.
Yeah, well, hey, I don't vote there. You know, like I said, I only vote for her. Why do fascists have weird hair? What is the deal with that? Why do we always support a fascist with strange hairstyles, you know? Good-looking fascists, nobody follows them, you know, weird mustaches, orange hair, you know, Boris. The guy in Argentina. What's the deal with these things, you know? That's why I love it living here, because that could never happen in the Netherlands. Well, we have a Belgian-style thing where it's like they sort of have a government, but not kinda. You know, it's like there was an election. It's like somebody said to me, actually in Greece, for the first time ever, a Greek said to me, "Really like your new PM." Yeah, it's not exactly a compliment. It's sort of one of those backhanded statements, you know. And I kind of had to feel like explaining, he's not really the PM yet. We don't know if he's going to be or not. It's sort of a Belgian-y thing, you know. It's the way we do it here, which it's cool though, because it all continues, you know. But I got a vaccine a little while ago because I've had my health issues, and I figured, well, you know, it bothers the anti-vax people. And there was a poster in Dutch. It said basically, "Gun de vaccinatie voor de kinderen van de wereld." Basically, give the gift of vaccination for the children of the world. And I had asked a friend of mine, well, what is this word gun? What does this mean? And he said, it's a giving of gift, and it's spelled G-U-N, which is G-U-N. In English, we have a similar word in Florida. very, very popular. You can give gifts with it, and those gifts will keep giving. It's a different style of life. Like I said, it's just a different concept living in America as opposed to living here. Cultures, if you like. Like in America, we had to come up with the word mass shootings. Yeah, we don't have that over here, you know? If you don't know or not, a mass shooting is 4 or more people shot at once. Yeah, there's only 3 people shot, nobody cares. The shooting. My kid got into the shooting, that's nothing, you know? But with practice, we had more than 600 of them last year, you know? Well, more accurately, they did. Yeah, they was. But they actually moved up a notch. Last year, they started counting a new thing called mass killings. Yeah, 4 more people killed, but they give it 24 hours. Because someone might be going on a spree, maybe somebody bleeds out. It's a system, you know what I mean? And they had more than 40 this year. Like it was 42 last year. Yeah. Different, right? Different flavors for different people. That's why Baskin and Robbins is 31 flavors. And if you ask an American tourist, you know, they love it. They think this place is crazy. Weird stares, bad weather, you know. Nobody has a gun to protect yourself. How do you avoid getting shot here? They don't get it whatsoever. But like in Greece, you know, they have a different kind of a method. I mean, it's sort of a little bit, they actually have anarchist parties in Greece. Yeah, how do you organize anarchists? You know? Right? Anybody shows up to the meeting, instantly kick them out. But of course, Greece was the home of democracy, you know. And I don't know if you know it or not, but democracy, that's actually a Greek word, as you would imagine. It comes from demo, to try out, and krisi, which is Greek for wine. That's what people wanted. They just wanted to have some wine. They wanted a party, you know. That's why political organizations are called parties. Yeah. Nobody parties like the Green Party parties. See? No. I told you. I even warned them that it was going to come up, and still nobody supports the Green Party. I'm old. You're all young. You should care. I worried my whole life. I'm 58 now. Thanks, appreciate it. And by the way, that's 85 in Dutch. About a week ago, I aged 10 days, over 10 years overnight. If you're not dyslexic as an American living here, you will become dyslexic. You know? Between the numbers being weird, you know, the dates are backwards, you know. I had a show on the 12th of November and another show on the 11th of December. 12, 11, 11, 12. Now, if you're only European, you don't know that we have that backwards in America, because, you know, we took our cues from the British. If you want to go far in this world, follow the English. Fortunately for me, it was the same promoter at the same location, so I could get it wrong and still get there on time or whatever. It worked out all right. But do we have English people in the house tonight? But are you actually English, or are you Irish, or are you actually English?
Yeah, I'm actually.
Yeah, and you live here, though, or are you only here on your 30 days?
No, I'm down here.
So you're wiser than the English people. So you know what it's like to live with people who aren't nearly as smart as you.
Here, or what is it?
No, there, not here. No, here, you guys are great. No. That's one of the things I love about the Dutch is the honesty. I was told I was brutal, and, you know, for me, I fit into this place, so I think it's a great sort of a situation. But, you know, again, like, my problem, again, isn't really necessarily lack of guns, but like a year and a half ago, I had a run-in, if you will. I was taught a Dutch word I didn't want to learn, but that word was aangereden. Yeah, it means to be slammed into. In my case, it was aangereden with a scooter concept. But I got slammed into by an asshole on a scooter. So it's, all places have different danger levels, you know what I mean? He didn't shoot me. But he still screwed my life up in a big way, and in the end, maybe it would have been better if I got shot. Yeah, I got to go to the house of paracetamol. Yeah, did a tour of the Dutch hospital systems around here. And it's weird, when I go to the doctors, first of all, people say that they don't give you appointments. Whenever I call, they're like, sure, come on in. Yeah, oh, dying. Yeah. But when I got there, they looked at the x-ray and they did this really bad reaction, which you don't want anyone to do, which was, you're a professional. How bad can it be? And I saw it, I was like, ugh. And then she offered me a shot of morphine. Yeah, no paracetamol for me. Anybody else have a shot of morphine? Any morphine people? Have you tried it? Were you on the streets with a friend, or were you just...
I was with my dad.
Were you with your dad? Yeah. In the hospital or just hanging out?
Yeah, I think I told him as they were injecting it into me, and I was really fucked up. I was like, oh, I really get the feel of heroin.
Oh yeah, no. If you don't know, morphine is a fantastic drug. It's like a warm hug on a cold night. 5-star drug, absolutely. No questions asked. In fact, when I asked for an ambulance, and they said to me, are you going to pass out? And I said, I don't think so. They said, take a taxi. Yeah, seriously. My arm's all screwed up. I can barely walk. I had a hip issue as well. And I was like, hey, I'm getting a little dizzy. I think I might pass out. We'll send you an ambulance. The ambulance got there. He offered me fentanyl. Now, you can get fentanyl with a taxi, but you got to know the guy beforehand. Set it up, lots of phone calls. It's a whole ordeal. Guy in the ambulance was like, would you like some fentanyl? Didn't even charge me. Taxi guy, he wants some money. But the weird thing is, he put the line in me, the shunt, the sort of whatever you call the arm thing there, and I got a wave of relief, just an absolute wave of wonderful relief. And then he said to me, now I'm going to put in the fentanyl. So what the hell was that? He said, saline. It was great. The saline was the greatest thing ever. They put the fentanyl, nothing whatsoever. 0-star drug, addictive for no purpose whatsoever, As an American, just give me the heroin, But I got to the hospital, and all they did to me was what the Dutch call conservative treatment, which is a Dutch thing, another word is Nixon. There's nothing. They did nothing whatsoever for me. Gave me a blue strap and told me it comes good. And it comes good is something that they told all of us. Every one of us. And they go, oh, don't worry, it comes good. When my butcher, my Socrates, he just looked at my arm and he said, don't worry, it comes good. But I trust him because he knows bones, Anyway, so long periods of time pass, and eventually I have surgeries, and it sort of comes good, but not really, because it was like turning necrotic. And necrotic is not a word you want to hear in any language. Doesn't translate well. Necromancer, death. And he points at your shoulder, you're like, what do you mean, necro here? So I had more surgery, that was fun, and finally, after all these periods of time, I thought maybe I'm going to get healthy again. Maybe now I'll come out of my experience of the sickle houses. And in August, I had a stroke. Yay! Woo! Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So now instead of being Socrates, no, I'm Strokates. It was not an ideal situation. So as you go through life, it's difficult. It's like, our life is an arc, is what I'm finding. You know what I mean? It starts off young and good and thrillingly fun, and things get better and better and better. And then it sort of plateaus out there in the middle, And right in the middle of that's when you have COVID. And then everything stops. And then you wonder, what the hell happened? You know what I mean? Wasn't that sort of a fun phase in our lives? We all had our own COVID phase, you know what I mean? Some of us were younger than others, Would have been sucked. I mean, if you were like right in the middle of your sexual prime, COVID. Anybody here in the middle of their sexual prime during COVID? Woo, woo! It's like, woo, what's this? Now I'll sit home for 2 years. I think I kind of sucked, I mean, I was already old, so it wasn't that big of a deal for me, But that's the thing, living here, it's just a different, like I said, different aspects of culture, you know what I mean? It's like food is a different sort of a thing. Everyone complains about Dutch food. But after I got my citizenship, I went to the houdingwinkel. Had some houding. Yeah, it was as good as you'd expect, At least I think I did, because afterwards I was trying to figure out, how did I party? Because like my fingers definitely had a bit of a fishy smell. It was either houding or I'd gone to the red light district. Well, I was trying to remember. It was a bit slimy, you know what I mean? Semi-satisfying, Wasn't sure what I was doing exactly here the whole time. And when she offered me a little bit more, I was like, I'm good. But it was €750, so I guess it was definitely the hotter, That's the thing, I came to the Netherlands originally for the food. I'm staying for the weather. Isn't it nice? Summertime's return. You know what I mean? We're living here in the middle of global warming. Anybody else love global warming? Yeah. We didn't have summertime every year, right? Now we have summer every year. It's awesome. You know what I mean? Now, I live in Florida, and again, we had different weather there because, not only did we have hurricane season, which is very exciting, but we had fire season. Yeah. You think it sucks to look outside and see it raining? You see it burning out there. You wish for a little bit of moisture. You pray hard enough, God sends hurricanes. Yeah. They suck. Because you can shoot at a hurricane. It does nothing at all. It's really, really upsetting. One of my favorite Dutch words, though, is that word for that little tiny rain that gets in your face. Miser. Because it makes you so miserable. Because the thing about miser is, if you are on fire, it's not going to help. You burn it and ever so slightly down. But I love Dutch. I think it's a fun language. My Greek family thought Dutch sounded weird whenever I said anything in Dutch. They thought I was speaking Klingon. That's like the great Dutch word, gezellig, which is like, this is an example of gezellig, you know what I mean? It's a wonderful thing we get together and make this room filled with love, energy and love, excitement, etc. And it's still a wonderful evening we do it again as a group, And if anybody pulls out a gun, start shooting, on gezellig. Severely on gezellig. But you try to explain to the Greek people about the language, and again, they can't hear it because all they hear is, my dad said I sounded German, which is a bit offensive, as a Dutch person and a Greek person, Then my Dutch teacher, when I was talking Dutch to him, he said I sounded Turkish. Again, not exactly the best of all choices. He could have been nicer, I'm just saying there was better options out there, all things considered, But it's like, some words are just simply Dutched up, like, shoe. They took a good normal shoe word and Dutchified it, schoenen. Okay, I get that, But the things that are like easy, where they could have done something more interesting, is like gloves. Instead of making a new word, they still went with handschoenen. Hand shoes. I don't get hand shoes as a concept. I mean, that seems to be a phone-in, They didn't go with the hoofdschoenen for a hat, I mean, they went with condon, not pimmeltjeschoenen. And pimmeltje, if you don't know, is a great Dutch aspect. It's one of the lovely things about this language. Pimmeltje is a version of a little tiny dick, what I mean? It sounds cute, doesn't it, pimmeltje? It's a great word. But it's like, even like the word enough, I mean, how much Dutch can you throw in the word enough? You say genoeg. But that's not genoeg, They had to go all the way to genoeg. Really Dutch that sucker up, what I mean? Again, I think it's a cool language. For me, it's completely different than German. I like Dutch. It's similar to the cultures, I suppose, in its own way. But it's like the word for being detail-oriented, all the little details in the world, the nitpicking. To be a nitpicker in Dutch is mierennoken, which means ant fucking. Yeah. What do you tell your child when he's 6 years old and he's got that autism and he's doing, don't be that. Do we have another word for mierennoken? What's that, Papa? Well, like the one everybody knows, of course, is helaas pindakaas. It's like when a scooter smashes into you and you go flying in the air and land on the ground. Helaas pindakaas. Yeah. Which means, oh well, peanut butter. Not exactly a useful phrase if you've ever heard this, you know what I mean? It's not useful in any way, shape, or form. To know the words doesn't help, But it rhymes. The Dutch love a good rhyme, It's like one of my favorite Dutch rhymes is noken in de koken. Yeah. Which unfortunately means fucking in the kitchen. Yeah. Now, I do not know how to use noken in de koken in context. I've asked people, No one's ever told me. No one's ever suggested. Even the people who yell out in the back. Nothing. The only thing, not even in Tinder. I mean, I don't think in Tinder, noken de koken would have some use, wouldn't it? To come up in a Tinder date, anybody mention it to you? No. Perfect opportunity. Hey, noken de koken? No. I think, though, the only thing is if you combine Nogan and Koken with Halas and Pindakas, you end up with satay sauce. If you're a person that loves satay sauce. But anyway, so I'm going to leave you with my advice from the world, from a person who's been on both sides of the operating table. Better to be on that side than this side, you know. And they tell you, by the way, God has a plan, you know, and don't know about you, but if you look outside, God's plan kind of sucks. You know. Fortunately for me, my doctor had a plan too. He wanted to buy a Jaguar. Worked out all right for me. And now after the stroke, he's going to buy another one. But in life, you have to maintain a work and life balance, because that's the most important thing. Like we're all here today, is making our balance better, right? But it's important to maintain a work and life balance, and work-life balance. And the most important thing is to never ever bring your work home with you. And this applies like doubly if you're a kindergarten teacher. But I was really excited. I was talking to it got there. Sometimes it takes a while to get back. But so when I started doing comedy, everyone told me that comedy's a lot like sex. And the more I do it, the more I think that's true. Because I was really excited about coming up here tonight. Now that I came, I'm a little sweaty, a little tired, a little self-conscious. But if I get my energy, I'm going to come again soon. Thanks so much. Give it up for Brett. See you again.